What's up, everybody, and welcome back to All the Things Harry Potter, the alcohol-fueled, chapter-by-chapter reread of the Harry Potter series. I'm Nate.
I'm Jade.
I'm Shantel.
I'm Jay.
And in this episode, we're going to be getting into Chapter 6, Gilderoy Lockhart, of Book 2, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Real quick, we do have some news this week. It's that Shantel's back.
Hey.
What's up?
I'm happy to be back.
Welcome back, sweetheart.
Thank you, babe. Happy I'm feeling better. Not sick. No more gallbladder. It was causing a lot of problems.
Yeah, Shantel's back, minus an organ.
Yeah, but it's okay. It was dead anyway. I wasn't doing anything.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm ready to jump into Chapter 6.
Okay, so in this chapter, Ron gets some mail that he's not very happy about, and Gilderoy Lockhart shows up a lot and is an asshole.
Yeah, pretty much. What did you think of Gildy? I think he's a douche.
Yeah, he's very full of himself. The worst kind of person.
He's a peacock. Total preener.
So, we start out, it's breakfast time, and the poopless owls are back.
Yay.
and that's when the Howler shows up. The chapter actually does start out a little bit weird, because they're like, Harry Potter had a really sad day the next day, and then it goes to, like, describe his day, and it's one of the only times that you see that kind of, like, backwards explanation. Usually they aren't, like, preemptively describing the chapter.
Right.
No, typically you read it as it happens.
Yeah. So, Mrs. Weasley decides to send Ron an owl, and it's not a normal owl. It has the red envelope. And everybody at the table, pretty much, except Harry, understands that that's trouble. But it's, like, perfect for moms. I feel like there should be way more howlers being sent to Hogwarts.
I don't understand why we don't have these as, like, a novelty. Why can't we buy and record a howler, like, to our own children?
And stick it in their room and have it, if you don't play my howler in the next 5 minutes, it's going to explode and embarrass you in front of all your friends.
One thing that I wanted to hit on was that Neville mentions he got a howler once from his grandma, and he ignored it, and it was the worst thing he ever did. Now, that makes me wonder, if you ignore the letter, or, like, just, like, put it away so it can't start bitching at you like it's supposed to do, does it get more pissed off? Or does it, get more angry?
I don't know.
Or is there more to be angry about?
I don't know. All I know is that it's not good. It's not a good idea.
You don't want to avoid it.
So, Ron busts it open, and then the entire Great Hall knows that Mom's pissed. And Dad's facing an inquiry at work, which I think is probably the worst part of the whole thing.
I don't know why you would send a howler that would have information like that in it, where it could be opened in public and that information could get out. It's basically an angry voicemail letter.
Right.
That you're going to open and it's going to be on speaker.
Like, it's one thing for her to be sending it to the school to have him being yelled at about it. Because, like we talked about, Mrs. Weasley's on vacation right now, so I'm sure she was not happy to get a letter from Dumbledore or see their car in the paper. Like, the whole situation probably pissed her off a whole lot, so I understand. But like you said, probably not a good idea to be like, we were so shameful, and your dad is facing an inquiry. Like, that's private stuff. You should just be like, Ron, you fucked up, bud. Quit fucking up.
She was more pissed off at the fact that Arthur was in trouble as opposed to they could have been killed. So that's second on the list. Like, that right there puts her priorities as, you could have outed the whole magical community and died, but that's not the worst thing.
Well, I think maybe that's because this is at least the second time in this book that we've heard her be like, you could have died, because she did the same thing when they did it the first time.
Right.
So she might just be getting tired of being like, dude, stop risking your life. It's either die or knock it off, okay?
Or worse, expelled.
Right?
I got 6 other of you, okay?
Right. You know, actually, if you die, it's going to be kind of easier on me and your dad because, like, less kids to feed.
I will give her some props for it, though. Public humiliation of your child. Kudos. That is a good way to punish your kid.
You want them to step in line and their mouth off in front of their friends. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you want me to give you a spanking in front of your friends here? And they're like, I'm sorry, Mom. After this, McGee hands out some schedules. And they find out they have double herbology with the Hufflepuffs, which I think is the perfect way to start your school year.
How fun was it in the beginning of every school year when you got your schedules? Had to check to see if you were like with your friends in classes and lunch and stuff. Super fun.
They get over to the greenhouses, and Sprout and Gildy are coming across the lawn, and Sprout is all dirty and covered in bandages and shit, and the tree is apparently slinged. A whole bunch of the branches are in slings. And Gildy has he's obviously not touched this tree at all. He looks immaculate, not a hair out of place, his robes are clean, and Sprout is just not looking very happy about it.
So, is Sprout field dressing herself after an injury? She went to go take care of the Whomping Willow, right? It's all bandaged up and stuff from the broken branches from the car, and she also has bandages on her.
Yeah.
Obviously, because the tree was kicking the shit out of her while she was working on it. So is she, like, field dressing herself because Gildy didn't want to get his hands dirty? Or this is one tough lady.
It also implies that Gildy doesn't know how to, like, heal her very quickly at all either, because she's covered in bandages. He couldn't just wave his wand, apparently, and just help her out. So Gildy lets everybody know that he was instructing Sprout on how to take care of the Whomping Willow. Not because she's inadequate, don't think that. Just because he's met so many of these plants.
And I want to know how in the hell did she manage to walk away with just a couple bandages, being that it was able to beat the shit out of a car.
Because she's head of Hufflepuff, so she knows how to do them plants.
And she teaches herbology.
Right.
She knows
I still
her shit.
would think that thing would, like, whip the shit out of her.
She's a tough old bitch.
Maybe she's just really fast. She was able to run in between the branches.
Duck and weave. Duck
Yeah.
and weave.
They head to Greenhouse 3. Everybody goes inside, but Lockhart grabs Harry first. And that's when he goes into his big, long diatribe about how it's all his fault that Harry came to school in a flying car.
Oh, well, obviously it is.
Yeah.
Harry saw him existing and just couldn't help himself.
Wasn't that what it was like when I came into school for the first time for you?
When I grew up, I wanted to be just like you, James.
Now, it is funny because he mentions that when he was 12, he was just as much of a nobody as Harry. Probably even more of one, because a few people have heard of Harry, you know, after that whole you-know-who thing. And, like, everybody that we've met so far knows who Harry is.
The fact that he would say that to Harry makes me wonder if it's actually true.
Yeah. I feel like Gilderoy at this point kind of makes it pretty clear that he's definitely threatened by this 12-year-old's success because I think he was more of a nobody at 12 and he got to some level of fame as an adult, but Harry's already so famous as a 12-year-old that he's going to eclipse him if Gilderoy doesn't, like, smack him down before he gets any more famous, because he's in competition with a 12-year-old.
I just think it's a shitty thing to say to a 12-year-old. I was even more of a nobody than you. Hey, kid, you're a nobody. Now that you have all that self-confidence, why don't you head on back to class now? Fuck you, man.
While completely ignoring everything that you're saying.
Right, exactly.
Harry goes back into the greenhouse, and Sprout is standing behind the bench with the earmuffs, because they're about to get into some mandrakes.
Oh, mandrakes.
The description of them scared me. Why would you describe a baby encased in dirt?
A muddy baby.
a bunny baby with
Muddy baby.
a muddy. I thought you said a bunny baby.
No.
I was picturing the leaves on the top of the head, but like a bunny. A muddy baby.
This is what's interesting to me, is that every depiction that we see of mandrakes, they're like little creepy root men, but when they describe them, it's definitely not that. And it's probably because, yeah, it is creepy. They're like little zombie babies that are like encased in dirt. They're muddy babies that have leaves growing out of their goddamn heads.
That could kill you.
And they're green.
With their cry. Fuck that.
Mottled green, with mottled green skin, which like screams zombie to me.
So what happens if you're out on a hike in the middle of the Forbidden Forest or wherever the hell you want to go sightseeing in Magical Land and trip over a fucking mandrake? That thing starts crying, bam, you're gone.
That's why you don't fuck around in Wizard World.
Spraying pesticide or plant killer everywhere before I walked.
I was just going to say, you obviously don't want to go hiking in the Wizarding World because apparently there's fucking mountain trolls out there too, along with mandrakes just chilling in the ground. You're like, it's dangerous out there in them woods.
Yeah, the mandrakes definitely are dangerous. As far as they look, though, I think the scariness is relative to the size because I kind of picture it as smaller than a human baby. Like, maybe it's 5 or 6 inches.
Yeah.
But if it's like a full-size baby, that would be pretty terrifying.
Okay, but think about it this way. A shrunken head is still fucking creepy, right?
Yeah, but it's less human-like if it's not like a full-size human baby.
She's disgusted. She looks so disgusted
No.
right now. She's like, I can't even imagine what you're thinking.
No. Okay.
Like a little Groot wouldn't be as bad as like just a little regular baby.
No, you're right. Like
a
a root person is not that bad, okay? Babies are creepy in general.
That's what I'm saying. If it's a full-size baby, it's fucking scary. But if it's like miniaturized and not like a regular baby, then it's not that scary.
Professor Sprout explains that these are only seedlings, so they're not going to kill you. They're just going to knock you out for the rest of your first day, which might not be the worst thing. Let's be real.
I would be like, boop, my earmuffs have slipped.
I mean, I suppose it depends on what classes you have. If you have
True,
one that you really
true.
like, then maybe
I
not.
mean,
But
yeah, I wouldn't be quick to want to not learn magic.
you got double potions with the Slytherins, and maybe.
Right.
She does make a comment about the venomous tentacula and how it's teething, and she smacks it, and that makes me laugh.
It's just a big old reference on kids in general. We got creepy looking babies and we got teething plants like toddlers. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
She's got all sorts of dangerous ass shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
Toddlers especially.
and she's very like motherly to these things and like caring for them. It's a little weird.
I wonder if Sprout has
That's because
kids.
no one else will.
I'm guessing she's like not married and doesn't have kids and like these plants are her babies and she probably likes them more than like the students and like regular people.
She's a Hufflepuff, though.
She's probably the cool one.
Yeah.
She's probably the cool one, but she's probably like cat person where it's like you deal with people, but you still like your cat better.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I could follow that.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm a Hufflepuff, so I'm friendly. I like people. But, like, I like my people most.
Right.
I mean, I like beer.
I like beer, too.
Shantel, what are you drinking?
Water. Let's not get on that. I still got
Nate, what are you drinking tonight?
Tonight, we are drinking Rogue River Brown Ale from Rockford Brewing Company. Winner of 2 Great American Beer Festival medals, our Rogue River Brown was made to be an easy drinking companion with a warm complexity to intrigue the beer enthusiasts in us all.
Are you intrigued?
No.
It doesn't
No.
sound enticing.
It's, it's funny because the last episode we had a beer that we didn't really want to like, and we liked it a lot. And this one, I kind of expected it would be good. And I'm not really digging this. Now, I've had other beers from Rockford Brewing Company, and they do good work.